We got to do the song. Let's see.
There it is. Let's go.
How long do we let this one ride out?
I think this is the episode where we go for this a full 60 minutes and people just wait and they wait and they wait. And then they're like, what the hell? It wasn't even an actual podcast.
Should we just talk over it the entire time?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Here we go.
All right, here we go. All right, welcome back, everybody, to another episode of King of the Court. We are getting close to episode 20, somewhere around there.
Wild.
Yeah, so coming up, we've put a lot of content out there. If you've missed an episode, we have a huge playlist that you can go back and check out. We are on Spotify, Apple Podcast, everywhere. We are there.
Check them out.
Jimmy, we're going to go through our sponsors. Then we're going to talk about the big weekend that happened this past weekend.
Yeah.
So first and foremost, we love our sponsors. We cannot do this without them. Our first and foremost is the Pickler. Jimmy, who is the Pickler?
Pickler is the premier indoor pickleball facility in the country. They have announced, I don't even know how many locations they're up to now that have been at least announced. I heard, I don't know, am I allowed to say that they're supposed to be?
So I think in the next 2 to 3 weeks, they're supposed to be announcing a new slate of locations. And I think the amount of those locations is pretty high, like double digits.
Like massive,
yeah,
right?
Like a lot.
Like there's a state that has a lot of players in it. I won't mention.
Uh-huh.
And there's supposed to be 20 in that state.
Wow. I don't I don't even know that, but that'd be sweet if that's
I was
the case.
told that.
Yeah. Well, hopefully it happens
20.
sooner rather than later because we're coming up on winter, believe it or not.
Well, this state, they doesn't really have a winter, but
Yeah.
anyways, the Pickler is amazing. We love them. Also the Pickler shop. Go check them out as well.
Pickler Shop, yep. They have an e-commerce platform where you can buy any and all of your pickleball paddles, bags, balls, whatever it is.
Yeah.
They will have it. They have great customer service. They normally have the best prices, but when you use our code, KOTC, you do get the best price available. So check them out at thepicklershop.com. Use code KOTC.
And what else do they sell at the Pickler shop? Do they sell Stack at the Pickler shop?
They might sell Stack, which is a new clothing apparel.
Which is blowing up, by the way. If you went to TOC. Are you
wearing a Stack?
I am wearing a Stack hat.
There you go.
If you went to TOC, you saw Stack everywhere. The Stack Bros, as they've been called now, were out in full force. And Hurricane Tyra was in Stack all weekend.
Yes, she was looking great.
Yes. And so were you, actually.
Crown Pickleball.
Crown. Let me tell you about Crown. Oh, here we go. Let me tell you something about Crown, okay? I'm still using the same ball from the very beginning.
And this is probably 5 to 6 weeks.
Yeah. Same ball.
Yeah.
Literally, I mean, it's great.
It doesn't crack.
It has not cracked. It has not, and we know it's been 100 degrees here in Utah.
Yeah.
It doesn't crack. It's the best thing I'll say is it's not out of shape. Mm-hmm. It's not out of round. And then we played with it. It was about a week or so ago. And we played with it for 2 hours. And the people we were playing with didn't even realize
that it was not one of the other balls that a lot of people use. Yeah.
They were actually shocked.
We also have a couple announcements from Crown. They sent us and they want us to read these out. So, number one with Crown Pickleball, they are USA Pickleball approved. So that is big. You can use these in your tournaments. Yep. Number two is Crown indoor balls are available now. And so you can use, they have a new product that you can use for indoor. So
you know if they're the same color?
I believe so.
Okay.
Yeah, I should know this, but I'm not 100% sure.
Okay.
Number three is Crown Pickleball is heavily investing in the community. Crown is sponsoring the Pink Pickleball Tournament for Cancer Awareness in Rancho Mirage this November. Crown is running a limited ball that will have proceeds going to cancer research. Oh. So if you want to buy them during this time or buy this specific ball, it's going to a great cause. So check it out. And then also, if you want to become an ambassador for Crown Pickleball, reach out to them via their social media or their website. They're accepting new ambassadors.
Yeah, check it out. We've had a couple people locally who watch the show that actually become ambassadors off of it.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Use code KOTC. You get free shipping on their 3-packs, which I believe are $8.99. And as Jimmy was saying, they last a very, very long time. And then use code KOTC for free shipping on 100 packs.
Dude, that's a big savings because you can get 100 balls and get free shipping.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Moving on, Jimmy.
Mod balls.
So Jimmy in the previous episode, he said, find me at TOC. Find me at TOC, reach into my pocket, and I will give you mod balls.
And I had a dozen people tell me they wanted to reach into my pocket, which was very creepy. But I brought it on myself. But here's the problem.
You can't do that, Jimmy. You got to have integrity.
Here's the problem.
Do you have integrity?
I do have integrity, but listen, I'm not going to let this grown dude reach into my pocket, okay? Like, especially when he's coming up from behind all that. I said, well, easy, bud. Anyways. Here's my problem. I brought mod balls. It was an hour and a half drive. They didn't make it to the tournament.
Were they in your pockets?
No, they're in my mouth, Tyler. It was a long drive. I needed some energy. I literally drove back and forth to Brigham City Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So 4 days in a row, hour and a half each way.
Okay.
And so it was a lot of time in the car. So I'm sorry that if you guys didn't get mod balls, but guess what? Guess how you can get mod balls?
Modballs.com.
Use code KOTC.
Use code KOTC and you will love it. It's a great product. It fuels you up.
I'm telling you.
It's very easy to carry. It might melt, so you got to eat it quick.
Yeah. But long car rides, mod balls are money.
Yeah. Okay, those are great. And then last but not least, Vulcan. Vulcan was the title sponsor of the Tournament of Champions, and they are coming out with their new 700 series paddles, which will be released, I believe,
24th, right?
In 3 days. So August 24th.
Yeah, big day. Big day for Vulcan.
So go check them out. It does have, in my opinion, the best grit, long-lasting grit. So the grit that's on these new paddles doesn't fade away like a lot of the other paddles do. So check them out. Use code KOTC for discounts at vulcansportinggoods.com.
Yeah.
All right. Big weekend.
Big.
So we had the Tournament of Champions this last week.
So we should call it the Vulcan Tournament of Champions since they didn't fully get what they had paid for.
Okay, we can do that.
Let's give them the Vulcan Tournament of
Yeah.
Champions. So
should we say double Vulcan?
Vulcan Tournament of Champions. We're going to say Vulcan as much as we can. Some of you know why, but we'll just say that Vulcan probably didn't get their money's worth.
Not what they're expecting.
Expecting, yes. Lower your standards, higher your percentage. Oh, wait, that's for dating. Expect, yes. Anyways, TOC, Brigham City, one of the premier probably tournaments in pickleball.
So a lot of the newcomers don't understand the historical meaning of this tournament. So this was, to my knowledge, the very first tournament that kind of brought a lot of players in and offered significant prize money at the time.
Was it the first to pay pros?
I don't know if it was the very first one, but it was the one that really upped it.
Yeah, kind of set the bar, set the standard.
Yeah.
Yeah, so TOC is, Brigham City, it's a small town. Mm-hmm. It's probably an hour or so north of Salt Lake.
Yeah.
I don't know how many people in Brigham City, 20,000 or less?
Yeah, seems like less, but I don't know.
Seems like less. It feels like less. I'll tell you horses. That. Yeah, if we're counting livestock, they might reach 20. Not a lot to do there. Mm-hmm. You literally cannot get to the courts if you take the exit without waiting for the train.
Oh my God.
There is a train every time.
I feel like it passes through once an hour, to be honest.
Maybe more. And sometimes it'll go slow, then it'll back up, and then you just sit there. Anyways, that was wild. Yeah. I forget about that train and I hit it. I hit it all 4 days.
Yeah.
Both ways.
No, not both ways.
Yes,
you
both
were
ways.
lying.
No, seriously, I feel like my parents.
Not a chance.
Walked to school uphill both ways.
Oh my gosh.
With no shoes in the snow. But it's charming. It's a charming little town. But the best thing about
shakes.
Yeah, good shakes. Best thing about Brigham City though is they do have a great pickleball complex. Mm-hmm. I don't know how many courts. 20? Is there 20 something dedicated court? 22, I think.
I think there's more. I think there's
more now?
high 20s.
Yeah. Dedicated courts. Yeah. They have a championship court that's already there that they just elevate for TOC. And then they have a court that's kind of out by itself, mm-hmm. which they did for Grandstand Court, which was perfect. They were able to put bleachers around it. Yeah. So yeah, I think TOC is set up pretty flawlessly. I think it's what it's called, Reese Pioneer Park mm-hmm. is set up pretty flawlessly for a major pickleball tournament.
Sure.
So other than they made me park on the grass and that kind of annoyed me.
Yeah, the parking situation at most of the tournaments are not ideal.
Yeah, that was kind of annoying. But TOC, the storylines going into TOC were no Ben, no Annalie,
No Matt Wright.
No Matt Wright, no Lucy Kovalova.
No JW.
No J-Dub, no Georgia.
Yeah.
But I think it made it more exciting.
Okay.
I think the matches were more competitive. So let's recap this. Also, real quick, Mary and Randy, I met them at TOC. Big fans of the pod. Nicest ladies in the world.
We got to get him on.
We need to get them on the pod.
Didn't they have a poster?
They had a poster that said, "Hey, Travis, Jimmy ain't no Mr. Nobody." And then they made Travis look at it. And they literally it was amazing.
That's
they
good.
were awesome. There are a lot of awesome fans.
We love our fans and some of our haters.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I had haters. Did you know that Tyson hit a forehand winner down the line, and then George, the Pickler George, Mr. Pickler, said, "Hey Tyson, great shot." And Tyson turned to him and said, "I learned it from Jimmy Miller on King of the Court."
You've been working with Tyson?
I mean, honestly, he could use it. Just kidding. Okay, here we go. Men's pro singles. Just kidding. Tyson had a good weekend. It's annoying. Tyson wins gold. Beats Connor Garnett.
I was very impressed with singles. Singles is a grind.
Yeah, it's a grind. I mean,
that's a very impressive and great win for him.
Yeah, I mean, 11.
And I think last time that they played, I could be wrong. I think Connor won last time.
I think Tyson, didn't he beat him in?
Was it Takea? Did they play in Takea?
I thought they played in
they played in Atlanta.
I thought they played in San Clemente.
Oh, maybe.
And he beat him.
Yeah, maybe there.
Because remember we said on the pod, I said that Tyson was like, "I'm going to stop inviting Connor to my house." And then Tyson had to go clarify in his pod that that's not what he meant.
Gotcha.
Dummy, we know that.
Gotcha. Yeah. Anyways.
It's getting close. Tyson and Connor obviously have a good relationship. The week before TOC, Connor was up there doing clinics. He beat him 11-6, 12-10. He was down 9-2 in the second game, and Tyson battled all the way back, which is just wild.
Yeah.
For bronze, here's a funny story, okay? First of all, in the semis, Fed played Connor Garnett.
Yes.
I don't know if anybody saw this, but it was an amazing match.
Yep.
It was 12-10, 6-11, 14-12. And the last point of the match was very, very, very close. To being in or out. I asked Connor directly, and he said it was out. Fed obviously was very politically correct, and he's not going to complain. He said it is what it is.
Yeah.
It was close.
I would imagine it was out, but it was very close, and Fed was hoping that maybe the ball was closer than it was.
Yeah, exactly. But what's crazy is that was a grind to play in that heat. I mean, it was 90 plus degrees all weekend.
Yeah.
So to go, 12, 10, 6, 11, 14 in singles, and you're in the semis, so you've been playing all day. So right after that, Fed had to play in the bronze. Okay. So this is Fed talking to me. I was talking to him about it, and he said that he plays 1 point and he goes full body cramps.
Wow.
Full freaking body cramps. So he said he took a medical timeout, sat down. He ate 5 bananas. He ate 2 pickles, and he drank those roar drinks that they had there. Those the
rain or the roar?
Roar,
gotcha,
those hydration ones.
Yeah.
He said he chugged 3 of them. Literally just in the 15 minutes. Gets on the court, and he's like, "Jimmy, my stomach hurts so bad." But
didn't he roll?
Yeah, so he said that he decided that he was going to serve as big as he could and just hit forehand passing shots.
Yeah.
That was it. And he freaking went 11-1, 11-2. He's like, "I think I'm going to play singles like this from now on."
Yeah.
And he just ripped. He literally just ripped. He's like, "I was either going to go out big or I'm going to,
Yeah.
And so he ended up winning bronze over that Chris Hallworth, who actually took bronze in APP.
Yeah, I remember you were asking, do you know this guy?
Yeah. So good for him. I mean, he made a deep run in back-to-back, back-to-back matches. But yeah, Tyson's win. I mean, so that's the start of it, right? Tyson picks up the gold medal in singles. Do you think it's wild, though, how Tyson's 33? Okay.
I'm 31.
Okay. So he's 33, 34. Last year, he was riddled with injuries. The year before, he was riddled with injuries. His body seemed to be breaking down.
What are you getting at?
I'm just saying he's come back maybe 10 to 15 pounds heavier, I would say. And it's like he found the fountain of youth.
I got to start talking to him.
I mean, he's got his trainer on the bench with him, which, speaking of, let me talk about this real quick. We talked about the whole airport episode and Meg's Gucci bag. So Tyson gets up after, I don't even know if it was men's mixed, one of the games on Saturday, one of the championship Saturday games, and he walks off. He wins and he walks off. And I watch his coach, whoever that dude is, Stallion Performance guy, pick up 2 big Selkirk bags, like 20 sweaty shirts, like 4 water bottles, and just pick all this stuff up and just follow Tyson out as Tyson walks out with nothing. And I thought, Tyson's that dude that like makes his wife unload the groceries by herself while he sits on the couch, isn't he?
They are not letting you in the next tournament.
Like that, he's that guy.
They are not letting you in the next tournament.
I just thought that was funny to me. Like he just walks out while this guy is like, let me clean up.
With the airport thing, I was thinking they probably had checked in bags, and Tyson already checked his bag in, so he was good
but
to
you
go.
can still carry your wife.
Well, Megan was probably checking hers in like right away, right after that picture.
No,
was taken.
they're on the conveyor belt thing in the terminal, bro. She was walking and Salt Lake Airport. It's deep, like it's a long walk.
B gates are rough.
Yeah, I'm sure he made her carry it from the B gate. Like that's not cool. Anyways, good for Tyson. He wins singles. So we'll start. That's the start of his.
So he played singles first.
Yeah.
Okay. So
he played single. Yes, he played singles obviously on Wednesday, but he played singles
in the
last
championship
on Saturday.
Okay, gotcha.
Singles was last on Saturday. Okay. But we'll go in order of when they started.
Okay, moving on.
So then we go women's pro singles.
Okay.
Awful. Worst field I've ever seen.
Yeah.
It was terrible. Like, here's the thing. No Annalie, no Leia, right?
No Tyra.
No Tyra pulled out. Mary Brasha pulled out.
Yeah.
It was a really, really bad field. Catherine wins it. She wins it pretty easy. Salome gets to the finals. I mean, Connor's got to pony up and get Leia back.
Yeah.
He's got to get Leia back, and he's got to get some of these other women to start playing singles. I really think he does. I think that they've got to figure this out.
Did you see Irina and Salome?
Yeah. Yeah, she just waved her off and went in
at the end of the match.
Yeah.
From what I've heard, there was only one controversial call during that match, and that's kind of what sparked it, I'm guessing.
Yeah. Well, Irina just literally went like this, went at the end of the match.
Yeah.
And then Irina withdrew. She didn't even play in the bronze.
Yeah.
Lauren Stratman ended up winning bronze.
Okay.
It's just bad, dude. Like it sucks because women's singles is dying. And I don't know what the PPA has to do, but they've got to figure it out because it was really bad. I mean, there were some ladies that are legit 4-5-ish Utah ladies that were advancing to the quarters in women's singles.
Yeah.
Because the field was so watered down.
Yeah. Which begs the question. I don't understand why these top tennis players, women's tennis players, don't play singles in pickleball. I mean, the tennis skills translate fairly easily to singles pickleball. And I mean, a top girl in college tennis should be able to win at least one or two of these rounds.
Well, I do wonder why like a Megan Dazan doesn't, and I get it. It's hard. It's a grind.
Yeah.
You know this. But why wouldn't a Megan Dazan, I mean, she obviously has crazy power and good ground strokes, and why she wouldn't try and make a run at singles.
Okay. Moving on, we got, want to do mixed doubles?
Yeah, let's go mixed.
Okay.
So mixed doubles was actually, mixed doubles was crazy.
Yeah.
It was wild. So
because it got delayed. Some of the matches got delayed, so they got pushed back to another day.
Yep. So they had to play the next day, and then there was all sorts of controversy, which we'll talk about when they're supposed to show up and actually play. And so Catherine and the biggest thing is Catherine and Tyson win mixed over
Pat Smith and Tina Pisnick. Yeah.
The Piz.
Yeah. Is that what we call her?
I mean, I don't know. We call her whatever. We're going to call her the GOAT soon because she is just getting better and better and better. I mean, that's impressive.
Fun fact, she has the most Instagram followers out of anybody in pickleball.
Yeah, of course she does. She's Tina Pisnick.
Yeah.
Honestly, she played really well. The problem is the day before, Pat was playing in a men's match with Jay DeVilliers. Pat fell and hit his head.
Okay.
They actually were. This is the other thing that's weird. They're actually going to make Pat and Jay forfeit until Pat got cleared by a doctor. The PPA did not have a doctor on site.
No doctors in Brigham?
They had to find someone. So by the time he had 3 minutes to find a doctor by the time he got cleared.
Okay.
Because they gave him only a certain amount of time. which is wild. So the next day, Pat comes back to play, and he just wasn't himself. But they played him tough. The first game was 11-7. I think it was 7-6 at one point. And then the second game was like 5-5 or 5-6, and then Pat had to default. He had to retire.
Gotcha.
I was sitting right behind the bench. He looked back. He's like, hey, do you know anyone that has any Advil or ibuprofen or anything? So we went and got him some. He took it, and then he kind of took a timeout, and then I think that he said he was dizzy, and so he ended up retiring. So he only played like a game and a half.
Okay.
But him and Piz played tough. I mean, Tina.
So in their semifinal match, I thought they were going to lose it because Tyra and Gabe were up one game and up in the second, or were they just up the first game?
Yeah, they're up the first game. They won the first game.
Okay.
That was in the quarters.
Quarters, sorry.
Was it the quarters?
Yes, quarters.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah, because that was the one that they had to delay it and go back and play the next day. Yeah, so Tyra and Gabe won the first game. Like 11, it was easy, like 11-2, 11-3.
Yeah.
Second game, they're up like 5 or 6-1.
And then the wind comes.
The hurricane.
Yeah.
The wrong version of the hurricane, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, the wind comes, it gets delayed. They have to wake up the next morning at 8 a.m. to finish, and Pat and Tina freaking come back and beat them. Like, talk about maybe the best timeout ever.
Right.
Right? Yeah, and then they ended up beating
Zane and
Andrea. Yeah, which was crazy. Yeah. And then they get to the finals. I mean, it's just wild. I would say the biggest upset, though, was Rachel Rohrbacher and Andre Descu smash James Ignatowicz and Anna Bright.
Yeah, first round.
Yeah. 11-6, 11-7. Descu's got to be the captain of the squeeze now, right? Like, he earned that. He just smacked Anna Bright and said, I'm the captain now.
Maybe.
I mean... Yeah.
Yeah.
But what's crazy is, did you see what happened right after?
They lost.
They lost to Zane and Coop 1-3.
And that's the team that beat us.
That's the team that beat you. So I would say that the match of the tournament, or the match of mixed, was you guys, you and Glausman against Coop.
That was a really good match. I really wish it was streamed. I'm sure there are other matches that were pretty close as well, but I don't know. I felt like that match was at least over an hour. And it was a three game match.
I think they were 9. They're all 11-9 too, I think.
Yeah, something like that. It was all within like 2 points or so, 2 or 3 points.
I thought you played really well. Yeah. I thought your court coverage was insane. I thought you were attacking. I thought Vivian Glausman was rough.
Yeah, it's just tough. I feel like I've had a rough past few months. But I feel like, honestly, the teams that beat us almost always get to the quarters or semis or something like that.
So I was sitting with Coop watching a women's semifinal match. And we were talking about that mixed doubles match. And she was like, Jimmy, that was the best I've ever seen Tyler play. Yeah. She's like, Tyler was insane. He was attacking. He was, I didn't think Glausman played great. I didn't think that I thought that, she's got a great two-handed backhand, but I don't think that she knows the game very well. She can't dink. She doesn't have much of a soft game. And she was leaving a lot of balls up, making a lot of mistakes. She loves to laugh when she makes mistakes, which I guess that's how people deal with things. But as her partner getting balls slammed at you, were you laughing? You didn't eye roll. I was proud of you.
I normally don't eye roll that much. Only with you.
Can I tell you my highlight of the weekend?
What's the highlight? Tell us, Jimmy.
I stood right next to Jilly Bees, right on her court.
When she was playing?
When she played the Kawamotos.
Okay. Did she look at you?
Oh, she had to ask me to move to get her water. And I stared at her. And then as soon as it ended, as I was walking off, I said, well, at least 2 of these guys are real athletes. As she lost.
You said that?
Yeah.
No, you didn't.
Maybe.
You didn't say that.
Anyways, moving on.
So mixed doubles. So Tyson, Catherine, they win.
Tyson, Catherine win. Piz and Riley get Pat. And then Riley and Jesse end up getting bronze, right?
Yeah.
So here's something crazy, by the way. So they're trying to play the semis of that. And that's at the end of the day. So it's Saturday or Friday night. Okay. And because of the wind and everything, everybody else came back Saturday, 8 a.m. to play. Or sorry, Friday, 8 a.m. to play. Okay. And Jesse and Riley are like pushing theirs back, and Tyson and Catherine, they want to play their semis later, right? Instead of playing at 8 a.m. for whatever reason. And I guess they get to do whatever they want. So I guess Tyson decides that he's not going to play the semi that night.
He wanted to do it in the morning?
in the morning.
Okay.
Okay. So almost 2 days after he was supposed to play it. And they told him, no, you're going to play it that night. We need to get it in. And he left the site. He went to Wingers. Okay. They couldn't find him. Everybody's waiting. They're calling. They're trying to find him. They don't know where he is. Finally, they get a hold of him. They said, you have 30 minutes to get to the site. He shows up. So here's what's crazy. This is what I was told. He shows up 20 minutes, like instead of 30. So he was early and sits in his car. And he walks in at like 32 minutes just to like, almost like to prove a point. Like, you're not going to default me. And walks in after the 30-minute time limit.
What'd they do?
Nothing. Of course they weren't going to do anything. He knew they weren't going to do anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, he left and went to eat. And then he goes and wins a semi. So good for him. Like, one other thing.
That was against Riley, right?
That was against Riley and
I'm
Jesse.
sure Riley was loving that.
Yeah. Oh, and Jessie was on her phone. I saw her. I was sitting right there. She was on her phone. They were just really bugged. They were all ready to go. You know, you warm up for 30 minutes and then you have to sit there and wait.
Yeah.
One of the more exciting matches, or maybe we won't call it exciting, one of the more controversial, the Spencer Smith, Tyra Black versus
Gabe Tardio.
Spencer Smith, Yanni Newell versus Gabe Tardio and Tyra Black.
Yeah.
So there was a ball overhead.
Okay.
Spencer Smith hits the overhead and says, yep, like it's a winner. Flushes it, and Tyra runs it down. And Tardio says that's a hindrance. You can't say yep. Like, you know, that's not partner communication. That's not. So after, how long was that delay, dude? You were there.
It was at least 30 minutes. It was 20 to 30 minutes.
That when it got done. Stanley, and this is 0-0-2 in game 3. And then we have this delay and this discussion. Finally, they end up saying it's not a hindrance. They give Spencer and Yana side out. And then the match is pretty intense from there on.
Very chirpy.
Yes. Spencer's girlfriend's there. She's kind of chirping a little bit. Yana's, Ben is there. Ben Newell's there. He's kind of chirping a little bit. Tyra has, I think it was her host. He was kind of not chirping, but like still cheering for her pretty loudly.
Yeah.
And so it was just a little bit chippy throughout the entire match. Tyra and Gabe win. They walk to the net, and Spencer and Gabe start kind of going at it.
Yeah.
Like literally talking crap to each other, going at it. Gabe walks out, walks past Spencer's girlfriend, and nobody's really sure what was said. But whatever she said, Tyra flipped, turned around and said, "What did you say?" And gets in her face. And like the girl like kind of cowered, backed off. Tyra walks off. And I guess she saw her later in the weekend and she like turned around and went the other way. But it was intense. That was intense.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen a lot of pickleball matches, and that was one of the matches that is closest to a legitimate fight.
Yeah, I thought it was coming, right? I thought it was definitely going to happen.
Yeah.
So, dude, what's going on with Tyson and CP though? Like they both, is this the new age pickleball? Tyson's got his trainer on his bench. Catherine's got her trainer on her bench. Is this new age pickleball? Like, I mean, both
Apparently.
of them have, we'll call it what it is. Both
Should
of
I
them,
call you a trainer and have you start traveling with me?
maybe, yeah. But you got to gain like 15 pounds of muscle.
You got to help with that.
You got to get on that testosterone or something. But they both have their trainers on their bench.
Yeah.
They're both looking jacked.
Yeah.
Like jacked.
Yeah.
They both gained legit muscle. Is this it? Like, is this where pickleball's headed? Are we headed to like that era? Are we headed to that baseball era, the Mark McGwire, Sammy Sosa, where, you know, the bigger you are, the better? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's uncommon to see that now. You are seeing that. I think I was a little bit shocked. Well, not shocked, but just the first time I saw kind of these trainers following these players around was probably about a year ago.
Yeah.
And then ever since then, you see a couple players here and there traveling with trainers. So, yeah, I don't know.
Like, does Riley Newman need to hit the gym?
Well, he's been pretty successful so far, so I don't know if he does or not.
Yeah, but I mean, Tyson and Catherine were fine.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden they're freaking, I mean, dude, her traps are like I want to know what her shoulder routine is. I want to get in on that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just crazy. Like I don't know. Is that what it is? Are we going to see nutritionists and trainers and and everything these guys put in their body is going to start being measured out. And are we going to see crazy supplements and testosterone and TRT and HGH, all these things? Is that what's coming into pickleball?
I mean,
I don't know.
Yeah. No idea. I don't think it would be a surprise to see that. I mean, we talked with Connor Pardo the other day, and I mean, until there's actual rules and regulations and stuff that says this you can do, this you can't do, then I mean, everything is open game. Because honestly,
just testosterone, for instance, it's not illegal. If you have a prescription, it's not like you're doing something illegal, but there is a major benefit to it.
Do I look like I'm taking something?
No.
Come on.
Unfortunately, you don't.
Do I have to order
it's a little tight? It's a little, okay. I mean, when you go tank top Tyler, I could see it.
Come on.
I could see it. Like you've definitely take your...
I'm offended that nobody questions if I'm
honestly, like anything. when I saw you, okay, I'll be real. When I saw you on Friday and you're wearing your tank top.
Boom.
It was clear that you at least took your Flintstone vitamins that morning. Okay? Like that was obvious. Anyways, moving on. Let's go women's pro doubles real quick.
Okay. So Elise and Callie versus Catherine and Paris.
Won 4 games. Elise and Callie won game 1.
So Catherine did not have a partner for this as of a week or 2 ago.
Yeah, so Etta pulled out.
Nobody's
really sure. She said I did talk to her. She said she'd be back soon, but no real clarification on why she pulled out.
Yeah. So Catherine messages Paris, and Paris comes in just for women's doubles.
Yeah, just for women's doubles. Yep. That's all she played. So Catherine and Paris had a good win over Leia and Jessie to get there. And then Elise and Callie had a huge comeback win over Tyra and Anna Bright.
Yep.
Massive comeback. And the fans obviously are getting behind
Utah.
And, it was rowdy. And so when Catherine and Paris are playing, so Elise and Callie win game 1. And honestly, I'll say this, Callie Smith had a great weekend. She played amazing with Jay. They almost upset Catherine and Tyson. They lost 11-8 or 11-9 in the third.
Yep.
And
they were up in the third, too.
They were up in the third,
They were up like 8-6 or 9-6
and Callie played amazing, honestly. Yeah. And in women's doubles, she played amazing as well. Maybe Callie Smith is back. Maybe we're going to start seeing big run. But she honestly,
did you get one of her braids?
I didn't. Unfortunately, I didn't get one. I missed out. Maybe next time. Anyways, so they played great, but in the last game, okay, I think it's 5-1. And Elise does like this stare down, chest bump, like she hits Paris.
Mighty Mouse, you mean?
Yeah. She hit Catherine.
Okay.
And it was off the net. And she does this like whole like chest bump, stare. Elise is an emotional player. She feeds off that.
Yep.
And Catherine just looks at her. And then Elise immediately, like after she's cheered it, she realizes, oh crap, and then apologizes. Catherine Parento, go watch the end of this match. Catherine Parento flips the switch. And she goes on an absolute one-woman terror and closes out the match herself. Yeah. And Paris helped, obviously, but Catherine went on a tear. At one point, Elise fell on the ground. Weird, I know. It's weird that Elise was on the ground. Yeah. And Catherine flushes an overhead right at her. Like
Eric Lang style.
Yeah, Eric Lang right at her.
Yeah.
Yeah. They played well. I mean, Catherine was the best. She was the best person on the court anytime she was on the court.
Catherine's tough. She is so solid.
Those 8 weeks off helped.
Yeah.
Right? 8 weeks off.
I mean, she talked about it. She talked about how fresh she feels after being able to take a little bit of time off tournaments.
The trainer. She's got that trainer. Right?
Gotta give credit.
Yeah. And then in the bronze match, Anna Bright and Tyra beat Leia and Jessie. 7-7. Leia and Jessie need to be done, bro. It needs to end. Like,
how many more do they have together?
I think the whole year.
Oh, well, there's actually only like 4 or 5 more tournaments.
Really? Well, I think they have the rest of the year. They got to be done. They don't mesh well together. Their games don't, they're not in harmony and sync. Jessie doesn't look happy playing with anybody, but she definitely doesn't look happy playing with Leia.
I bet she'll look happy playing with Ben Johns on the MLP team.
Yeah, well, of course, right? She can't decide who's going to, I think Leia should play the left when she's on playing with Jessie. But Jessie was probably playing the left 75% of the time. They just don't seem like some teams just don't work. It doesn't matter if they're both good players or not. Some teams just don't work.
Yeah.
And that's one of those teams, in my opinion, that doesn't work. And it just needs to be done. I think Leia and Tyra will be really good in 2024. But the Leia Jesse experiment's got to go. It's time to end it. End it now. Don't rip the Band-Aid off.
Okay, men's doubles.
Men's doubles. Again, wild.
Yeah.
We've got Tyson and James go down 11-5, 11-4 in the first 2 games.
Yep. So they're playing 3 out of 5 games.
Yes.
And they lose the first 2. So Riley and AJ only need one more game to close it out.
Not only did they lose the first 2, they looked outclassed. They looked terrible. It was rough. Riley's speed ups were perfect. His flick was on. They were speeding up both Tyson and James. Now I'm sitting behind their bench. Okay, I'm directly behind their bench, so I can hear everything that they're saying.
Tell us.
And the strategy was essentially to James was playing the right, and the strategy was all the speed ups were to go to James. Right? That was a strategy. I heard Riley, direct quote from Riley, say, Tyson is getting everything back. We got to play James. And it worked. First 2 games, it worked. Now, James's counters are solid, but they were catching them, and it was working. Game 3, I don't know what Tyson and James did. I don't know if I have no idea. Maybe they drank a protein shake. Maybe slammed a Miller Lite.
Yeah.
But they came out and they won 11-0. And they won 11-0 by not slowing down a single ball. It was like watching... One of the first times I ever watched you play, you were playing with Tyler Wren, okay? So
When was this?
This was years ago.
Yeah.
Okay, and you guys were
Must
playing.
have been at a charity event.
No, it was you and I can't even remember. It was just like a wreck.
Okay.
But you were playing, dude, you were playing the Dink Bros.
Okay.
Okay. And they were like 16, 17 at the time. If anybody knows, people in Utah know who those guys are.
Yeah.
And you guys did not slow down a single ball. You didn't slow down any balls the entire time. You rolled through them like 11-1. And I remember asking you, and we weren't really friends back then, right? Like,
No, we were not friends back then.
I mean, we still aren't. It's still up for debate. But I said, Tyler, like, you guys didn't slow down a single ball. And you said, your words to me were we're not going to slow down a ball until they prove that we have to. And you guys beat them. Like, I mean, you did this in your first round men's match too.
Yeah.
Sorry, Nick. And yeah, you just rolled through them. Well, that's what Tyson and James did to Riley and AJ. They drove every single ball. They sped up every single ball. I don't even know if there's a dink in that game. And they rolled through them 11-0. Like that game lasted probably like 6 or 7 minutes.
Okay.
The funny part is between games 2 and 3, Riley was complaining about the umbrellas.
Like in white?
No, just about how they weren't giving him enough shade.
Gotcha.
Okay, he's a little diva, but okay, I get it. And so AJ stands up and he pulls the umbrella over Riley's head and he's like holding it. And
That's
Riley,
part of his contract to play with him.
Yeah, right. And Riley doesn't even notice. And he holds it. And then Riley finally notices and he's like, oh, what a guy. You're such a great partner. You know, and then AJ puts it back and AJ's just kind of laughing. And it was very smooth, like very like.
And this is when they're winning, though.
They're winning.
Yeah.
Very simple. And as they get up, Riley looks at AJ and goes, stay focused, like all pissed off. And then they lose 11-0. So that was kind of funny. And then and then Tyson and James win the next 2. The third game was close. Oh my gosh, dude. I bet Tyson McGuffin hit the net 25 times in those 5 games. Yeah. I'm not exaggerating. I want someone to count. Odoth, you're good at this stuff. Give us like a freaking let cord counter and show us how many times it was insane. AJ was like literally throwing the ball back, pissed. Riley was getting pissed over and over and over again. AJ walked over the net at one point and he put his hand on it and pushed it all the way down. And the ref's like, don't touch the net. And AJ goes, it's too high. And then pushes it again because what's he going to do? It was Alan Roman. What's Alan Roman going to do? It was just wild. And so, yeah, Tyson wins it, gets the Triple Crown.
Didn't you tell me the other day that you heard Riley say something about his partner?
Yeah, so before the match, AJ listens to the pod, but that's okay. So before the match, I was talking to AJ.
Oh, I got to check in for my flight right now.
Oh, look at you. Right now, you couldn't do it. You can't do it in a little bit.
Hey, I just got the notification.
So before the match, AJ says, I said, how many more do you and Riley have? And he says, we only have 1. But if we don't win, we're probably done. And I was like, really? And he's like, yeah, if we don't win this, we're probably going to be done. So then in the middle of that match, I think it's the middle of game 2 or 3, Riley literally sits down. And do you have your sensor button ready?
Which one?
The beep.
Got it.
That one. Okay.
Got it.
Riley says, "Why can't I ever find a partner as good as f***ing me?"
I think I got it.
I think you missed it. But anyways, Riley was pissed. And I thought the way they were looking at each other, I thought they were going to come to blows.
Yeah.
After the match,
Did AJ hear him?
AJ was sitting next to him. So if he didn't hear him, he wasn't paying attention. Yeah. It was intense. Like it was crazy.
Yeah.
So they take silver. Riley literally grabs his bag, walks off the court. AJ sits there for a minute, kind of looks around like, oh. Like it was almost like being at a restaurant, you're going to fight with your girlfriend and she like pieces out, but you don't want to like follow her out because you're like embarrassed. So you sit for a minute. It was kind of like that.
All right, so I wanted to talk about, that was the weekend. Crazy matches. The weather was pretty hot. So there was two people that got triple crowns. Catherine Prento, Tyson.
Yeah.
How significant is that?
I think it's tainted.
Why?
Well, there's no Ben. There's no Annalie. Right?
No JW.
No JW.
Georgia.
No
Matt
Georgia.
Wright.
I mean, look, your one seed in women's were Leia and Jesse. Mm-hmm. Okay? Not that they don't deserve to be the one seed, but
they haven't been a one seed.
They haven't been a one seed ever, right? Your two seeded mixed were Anna and James. Mm-hmm. And now there's always going to be upsets, and you can only beat who's put in front of you.
Yeah.
And so I don't want to say that like because Tina Pisnick and Pat Smith had an easier road to the finals, that it's not deserving, because it is. But the road to the finals for Pat Smith and Tina Pisnick was like their semi match was Coop and Zane, right? Like I think that if you had to choose, in a semis over the last 3 or 4 months, Coop and Zane is probably, as a mixed pairing, you'd be like, yeah, I'll take Coop and Zane, And so you can only play who's put in front of you, but you have the two best players in the game and probably the number 3 or 4 best player in the game and probably the number 5 best player in the game in Matt Wright, not there.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I think I don't think that you don't want to take anything away from them. I mean, I don't mind it, but I think that it definitely taints it. I think there's a little bit of an asterisk there. I think any of the real pickleball fans know that Ben and Annalie weren't at the tournament. Mm-hmm. Now, if you were to go win a triple crown at a tournament that Ben and Annalie are at, yeah.
No, I mean, like you said, we don't want to take anything or too much away from them. Obviously, they deserve it, and triple crowning is insanely difficult.
Yeah.
Singles, doubles, and mixed doubles. But I will say, with the mixed doubles, you put anybody with Annalie or Catherine or one of those top females, they're bound to get top 4, top 5. Like,
dude, I think I missed. I'm going to give her a little more time, but Anna Bright,
number 3,
you did not prove me right. Okay, I freaking vouched for you. I talked about how good you were becoming. I pumped you up, and you completely just laid an egg and mixed. Mm-hmm. It's terrible.
Was it her or James? Did you watch it?
Shouldn't matter. It was both. I'll tell you this, Rohrbacher can rip. Mm-hmm. Rohrbacher was absolutely she was hitting missiles at Anna Bright. Number 2, in women's, that game against Callie and Elise, Tyra was very, very good. Anna Bright was not.
Yeah.
I heard in the bronze match, I didn't watch it because the men's match was going on, the men's gold. I heard that in that match that Anna was much better.
Yeah. See, that's what I always harp on. And for me is consistency.
Yeah.
Being able to sustain that level of consistency, whatever it is. I mean, we see a couple players like that. James Ignatowicz, super, super, super high level talent.
Yeah.
But then you see him go out in the first round every once in a while. Same with AJ Kohler, same with a couple other players. Yeah. And so for me, those types of players are kind of hard to rate their talent.
AJ and Susanna Barr lost to Rob Cassidy and Rihanna Valdez.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a big upset.
Yeah.
Speaking of funny losses, so Travis Rettenmeyer decides to play with his podcast host and best friend, Graham D'Amico. They lose first round.
Yes.
They go to the points draw. And do you know who he lost to in the points draw? Your favorite local Utah player.
Who are they?
Austin Reed.
Yes. No way.
He lost to Austin Reed.
Who was his partner?
Eduardo Irizarry.
Oh my gosh.
They lost to Austin Reed and Eduardo in the points draw.
Austin is the best player in Utah.
Just ask him.
He's the best player in Utah.
Yeah. Yes.
The way he talks is insane.
Yes. Anyways, that's who Rettenmeyer lost to. Yeah. You love Travis, though.
Besties.
BFF. Did you talk to him at all?
No.
Did you say anything to him?
No. I don't think we've said anything.
Like you're over it?
Yeah, I mean, it's fine. I mean, everything's in the past. I just don't have any desire to be,
You're not gonna be his
friends with people who act a certain way.
Can we talk about your match real quick with Hayden?
Sure. Yeah, let's talk about it.
You and Hayden against Connor Garnett and Christian Alshon.
Yeah.
Okay. You and Hayden haven't played much together.
That was our first tournament, and we practiced one day for 30 minutes before that.
Yeah. And you guys came out, and honestly, those guys took bronze.
Yeah, I mean, Connor and Christian, they're a great team.
They beat Pablo and Fed, which is also a great team.
Like I said, anyone who plays us early on, I feel like they just
Well, they get that confidence. Well, we beat Tyler Loon. Yeah. Is that what it is?
I don't know.
But, I mean, they beat Pablo and Fed 12-10, 12-10.
Yeah. Good team, yeah.
Yeah. But I felt like in that match, you guys never really got into like a rhythm.
So you were there on the bench.
Yeah.
We actually were up in the very beginning, like 2-0 or 2-1 or something like that. And I'm saying this, PPA needs better cameras.
Yes.
I got called on a kitchen violation. Well, they said when I landed, I actually hit the net post, which I did not.
Yeah.
But apparently upon review of the video, I took off on the line, which that's fine.
But that's not the call, though.
That wasn't the call. No.
So that's what I feel. And listen, I get that they got the call right.
Yeah.
But that's not what the call that he made.
Yeah.
So how can you, I think you should only be able to review the call that was made.
So my question is, and I talked to the refs afterwards, and they said it was too close to overturn. If it's too close to overturn, I feel, and I understand both sides of the story, I feel like it should be too close to call. If it's too close to overturn, if you're looking at video footage and you can't overturn something, then you maybe shouldn't be making that call in the first place.
Yeah. I mean, I think
I don't know. I see both sides of the story, but that's what they said to me.
I don't think the ref should make that call unless they're 100% sure.
Yeah. But the first one where he said I hit the net post, I did not feel it, and I looked down, and I was very close, but I didn't hit it.
And they said that the video review shows you did not. It was on the takeoff.
Yeah, but the call was for
the net post, exactly. So I don't know what the rules are. Like in the NFL, if you challenge a play, they're actually allowed to go back and review all parts of that play.
Gotcha.
And so maybe
and that's fine, but they didn't make that known to me.
No, exactly.
Yeah. And had they made that known to me, I probably wouldn't have challenged it.
Then they called you on another one.
Yes, and that one was, once again, it was very, very close, but we had Vulcan filming from the sideline, and it shows that I was not touching the line at all.
Yeah. Yeah, that one, and then didn't Hayden get called? Hayden got called.
Hayden got called on one, which he probably was, which I didn't make any
Hayden, that's
argument.
a big jump for Hayden. That's a long ways. That's a long.
But yeah, going back to the match, I mean, we were up 2-0, 2-1, and then we got called on that. And had I not got called on that, we would have been up 3-0 or 3-1. We were rolling. Yeah. We were doing good in the beginning, and I don't know, just
it did kind of change the momentum, and it kind of slowed everything down.
Yeah.
And I felt like Hayden, obviously I love Hayden. I think Hayden is going to be a great player. I mean, he's only 17.
Yeah.
By the way, he turns 18 next month, ladies, just so you know. And he is on Tinder, allegedly. But I don't think that he was trusting his hands enough against Alshon. He has way better hands than Alshon. And when he was winning those battles. Yeah. And so I think that you need to trust him. There was one point where him and Alshon had like a little hands battle, and Hayden won. And he stood at the net and he said, "You don't want this." He said, "That's not what you want."
Yeah.
And that was pretty funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just felt like you're a little bit out of sync. And I think that after that call, I think if you could have gone up 3-1, 4-1, and then that momentum will carry, right?
Exactly. But once again, I mean, a team success obviously is going to be their talent, but a lot of it is their draw.
Yeah.
Who they play. And I felt like once again, we had a pretty tough draw. They made it to the bronze. And I think we came in as the 6 or 7 seed actually. Yeah. And so, it was just a little bit frustrating. It would have been really nice to get one more match in before that. But I mean, not making excuses. They played great.
You know what's wild is in the men's doubles. Was it men's doubles final? I think it was a men's doubles final. They reviewed a call. There was a call. I think it was AJ. AJ got called 4 or 5 times for push off. Uh-huh. But they reviewed a call, and they actually came back and said basically that the replay was down, and so due to technical difficulties, they couldn't overturn it. So then later in the match, and that was one that Riley and AJ had challenged. So they automatically lose it because they can't even see it. So then later in the match, Tyson and James challenge one, and the replay is back up, and they're able to overturn it.
Yeah.
My thought was, that's not fair.
Yeah.
Shut it off then. If it doesn't work, if one person can't challenge it, then it needs to be off for the rest of the match.
Yeah.
You know, because all of a sudden Riley and AJ end up getting screwed because they don't have a replay, and then James and Tyson are allowed to use it when it's back up. Like, those are little things that got to be fixed. I think they will be fixed over time.
A lot of people always ask, what's your biggest accomplishment? My favorite shot, what is it?
The Ernie.
The Ernie. So I'm known for doing it. I try to execute it a lot. I try to do it a lot. And I would honestly say one of my biggest accomplishments is within the past 3 to 4 or 5 years, I have never once, I can't remember being called for a kitchen violation.
No, I heard you told the ref.
Yeah.
I heard you. Everybody heard you. The whole stadium heard you. You said, I've been playing for 8 years. I haven't been called for a violation in 5 years.
Yeah. Yeah. Which, if you go back, it does look like I was on the line for one of them.
Yeah.
But
hey, do you need a trainer so you can make that jump?
just that half inch more.
Yeah. See, maybe you need to do some box jumps at the gym, or
I have been jump roping, which I think is very valuable.
you know what would help?
Tell me.
Testosterone.
Get me some.
You should try it.
Let's go.
My testosterone is super high. I actually went and got tested once. And he asked me if I was taking testosterone, if I was shooting up. This is a true story, by the way. And I was like, what are you talking about? And he said, your numbers are off the chart. And I was like, no, it's just, it's who I am. Nobody's surprised by that, right?
Yeah. So this week we got KC
City.
Open. So are most players back playing?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that everybody's excited about or looking forward to KC is Ben and Matt are back together. Ben Johns, Matt Ryder are going to play together. Colin is hurt.
So my question is,
I question Colin's legitimacy of his injury.
Yeah.
Because he was able to still play and continue to play on it.
Yeah. I don't think he's 100%, but I do. Do you know if he was planning on playing with Ben and then Matt needed a partner? And since Colin is not 100%, Colin said, yeah, why
So
don't you
that's
just
what
play
I
with
don't
him?
know. Nobody is really asking, who did Matt drop to get with Ben, or what happened?
Well, Riley dropped Matt. And so Matt didn't have a partner.
But Matt had to have found somebody for KC they just announced it 2 days ago. You don't think Matt had already found someone?
So Matt asked me to play, and I had a partner. And I know he was asking this other person to play. He was asking DJ to play, and DJ asked me if he could switch with me to play with Matt. And I said, well, if you find me a good partner, you can do that. And then DJ got back to me like 2 days later and said, don't worry about it. Let's just play. And so I don't know if by then Matt found a different partner.
Wait a minute. But you weren't going to do that to DJ.
Exactly, yeah.
But DJ was going to do that to you?
Yeah.
DJ, come on, dog. Come on.
I was thinking that was, you know what? Yeah. Matt asked me like a month or two ago, and I told him I already had a partner.
Tank top DJ. He's another one. Yeah. DJ played with Eric Lang, by the way.
Yeah.
That's a very imposing team.
How did they do?
Not great.
Okay.
But
it's tough with this no consolation. I mean, you get consolation if you lose the first round.
Yeah. You know who he played mixed with?
Jilly B, right? Yeah.
Jilly B, yeah. He also didn't do well.
Yeah.
Yeah. But DJ's a stud. He's a good dude, but I mean, come on, DJ. It's a little bit.
I didn't tell him that, but if he listens, he'll find out.
I mean, that's a little sus, DJ. At least he asked you.
Yeah.
At least he was honest.
Yeah. I did want to say, you know what? He asked me, and I told him no. So
yeah. Freaking DJ. Yeah, Casey's going to be exciting. It's another Vulcan sponsored tournament.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
I heard it's hot. So James Ignatowicz and Anna Bright are here right now in Utah, and they extended their stay because they said it was too hot in KC.
Yeah.
So it's going to be hot this week.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
there's never been a tournament in KC, right? First one?
I mean, not a pro tournament to my.
This is the first one. Have you ever been to Kansas City?
I have not, no.
Oh, first time.
Yeah.
Oh, look at you getting out and exploring the world.
Says Mr. Jimmy, who's never been to New York in his 50 years of living.
50? I'm getting older and older. I heard they have good barbecue there.
I hope. Yeah.
You won't go. You'll go to Smash Burger or Wendy's.
I'll take Smash. Yeah.
Over like Kansas City barbecue?
We'll see. Whatever is closer. I'm a proximity guy.
That's true. Do we have any questions this week?
No, I forgot to put it out.
No, I think that's good. I think that because we interviewed Connor Pardo. That's going to get released this week. There's some big news on that one for the PPA. I think it's good that we have a pod that's not an hour and a half long.
Yeah.
For once.
I think we try to stay right around the hour mark. Sometimes we'll go a little bit over,
Yeah.
sometimes a little bit under.
Yeah, so I think it's good. But the other thing about TLC, I mean, I think for us in Utah, obviously it's historic. We love it. Sounds like it's moving from Brigham City.
Yeah, so I mean, I know for a fact PPA is doing a tournament in January, downtown Salt Lake at the Salt Palace, which is going to be awesome.
Which, by the way, just so you know, it's not on all pickle roll.
There's going to be 4 like poured courts, and then the rest will be pickle roll.
Yeah, exactly.
Which pickle roll is fine. I mean, it's fine. It's good. Yeah.
Is it as good as Pinnacle Sports though?
Well, Pinnacle, they don't do rolled out courts. Those are like sport court tiles.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What's that other one that used to sponsor you?
Pickleball United.
Do they still sponsor you?
I was never with them officially.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's very similar.
Very similar, yeah. But do you remember when we went and tested that court?
Which one? Where?
At the Pickler?
Yeah.
And you were like,
that was version 1.
You were lighting that guy up.
That was version 1. They're on like version 10 now.
Okay.
Yeah.
You were lighting that guy up. Like, honestly, that's the type of person you want.
Yeah.
Right. You were really honest with him. I was like, oh, no, this is great. And the ball's like, ding, ding, not bouncing. And you're like, Jimmy, it's not great.
Yeah.
So, anyways.
Anything else?
No, dude. I'm excited for Kansas City. I mean, as a pickleball fan, I love that we got back-to-back.
I wanted to give a shout out. Me and Jimmy, we have this friend. I don't want to say his name because he likes to stay a little incognito, but super good guy, super supportive of the show. And he actually made a very generous donation to us. And so we are very appreciative for that and towards that. We
love him. Very smart guy too.
Yeah. We love our fans, haters. We
Dude, I signed an autograph.
Oh yeah, you signed an autograph.
Bro, I signed an autograph.
Yeah.
What? Everybody was awesome. I had a lot of people come up. Thanks to the volunteers too at Brigham City. Like, I didn't have my badge one time. I don't think I had it a single time, and they just were cool and let me.
So we're in a group chat with Connor Pardo and this other guy Brett, and Brett took a picture of when Jimmy was signing his first autograph, and Brett wanted to talk about this on the show, and Connor Pardo said, "What a joke," and he said, "Congratulations to Jimmy." And then Jimmy said, "Connor, I'll give you one tomorrow, a signature." And then Brett said, "Jimmy was loving it. How many did you sign?" And then Jimmy, do you know what you said?
I'm sure I said something.
You said, "I signed all day. Nobody cared about the pros. PPA should just promote me."
Yeah, that's kind of funny.
How many did you sign?
Literally signed one autograph, like one. Like I was that one guy.
And we got the picture of it.
We got a picture. It was the wildest thing. Like, and I don't think I've signed my signature since I was like ever. So, anyways,
yeah,
it was awesome. So, yeah.
Anyways, yep.
Good weekend.
Fun times. There's a lot of interesting stuff going on in pickleball and the tournament scene, MLP. We did have a conversation with Connor Pardo the other day, which when we first started this, Connor Pardo was the one guest that I wanted to get out here.
We got him.
And we got him.
I promised you we asked Connor some tough questions.
Yeah. I think we should have been a little bit tougher.
Yeah. But we'll get him on again.
Yeah.
So.
Once again, thank you to our sponsors. We got Pickler. Go to picklershop.com to check out your next paddle. They have all the brands, all the top brands. Go check them out. We got Crown Pickleball. They are big supporters of the show. We love them. We see you guys ordering their balls, and we hope you have a good experience with them. They last a lot longer than all these other competitors, and they stay around, which is great. Mod balls, Jimmy.
Yeah.
How many have you eaten today?
That's way too many.
0?
Way too many.
Yeah. No, but they're great. Check them out. Modballs.com. Clean fuel, clean energy. And it's just going to give you that little boost of energy throughout the day. And then we have Vulcan Pickleball. Check them out. Get ready for their
Also, shout out to Lucia. Literally gave me the VIP treatment, Lucia from Vulcan, all weekend. So thank you to Vulcan. Thank you to Lucia. They put on a great event as a title sponsor. So.
Anyways, yep, we will be gone the rest of the week. Stay tuned. We have a lot of exciting things coming out in the near future. So,
yes.
Make sure to like, subscribe, share this video. We want to get it out there as much as we can. So thank you for your support. And we'll talk to you later.
Yeah. Bounce it.